Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing another fallow deer hunt in the same block of woodland. This evening I managed to escape work a bit early, so we're going to be sitting in the tower. Fingers crossed we'll bump into that group we bumped last episode, and hopefully we'll select a candidate out of that group and take one of those. So fingers are crossed. I've just got to get all my gear on and get up to the tower. I'd just like to say thanks for the support, whether that be in the comments, likes, and just generally the views really. The first video has blown up a bit, so that's very nice to see and glad people are enjoying the videos as something different. Obviously, I've not seen many younger, like my generation, doing videos like this. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe and comment, because then that helps push these videos further and further and we can see how big we can grow this channel. So all that support is very much appreciated, and I'd like to give something back to yourselves, hence I'm doing these videos. So giving out tips, tricks, advice. So a few more tips and tricks. It sounds daft, but believe it or not, some people we take out, they don't actually check the weather before they come out. So I've checked the weather, but I'm just determined today. So it's give off light rainy showers, hence I've bought me flask of coffee, I've got some treats, some chocolate, and I'm going to go and hide in the tower with a roof over me so I don't get absolutely soaked. So that's tip number one. Before you go out the house, check the weather. Tip number two, just before you're about to leave the house, double, triple check you've got everything. So you've got your bolt, your bullets, your sticks, your gralloch bag, so like your knives, your chest saw, your gambles, which I know I haven't got a gamble. I've just remembered that. And then a few other bits and bobs. Just make sure you've got absolutely everything and you've let the landowner know that you're going there well within advance. So you're just trying to keep everyone happy and do everything nice and safe. Tip number three, that would be carry a head torch with you, especially when you're going evening stalking. Not necessarily in the mornings because you're not going to need it, but definitely in the evening. So I know I'm going to be sitting in this tower till it's dark. You'll say if you do get a deer and then when you're carrying out the extraction process in the dark, we've all been there where you forget your head torch or it's not charged, it's not fun. So make sure it's charged and make sure you got it on you. Tip number four, so this will be the last tip of this segment until we get into the tower, and then I'll give you some tips on sitting in high seats, etc. That would be keep some gloves, disposable ones, in your pocket. Obviously don't just dispose of them in a bush like I see some people doing or stuff like that. It's just why? So just keep them on you, even though they're dirty, covered in blood, anything like that, just put them back in your pocket and dispose of them properly. Just in the bottom of the wood now, I've geared up, so I've got waterproof coat on. Most importantly, got me coffee and me biscuits in me little kangaroo pouch, so that's a bonus. Got me binos, got me thermal, got me camera gear, got me gun, got me sticks, got me bullets. Magazine is in the gun, everything's unloaded. I won't load up until I get in the tower because it's pointless loading up here. Then I'll have to unload when I get to the tower and make even more noise. But tip number five, so that would be check the sunset hours. So when you're stalking in the evening, or sunrise for when you're stalking in the morning, because obviously in the UK, the legal times are an hour before sunrise and an hour after sunset. Just want to reiterate as well, the support shown on the last video. So it's greatly appreciated. And don't forget to like and subscribe this video. And then obviously comment down below future videos you would like to see. Predominantly I can film loads of fallow deer stuff, can film bits of roe and bits of muntjac down the Cotswolds, but if you do want to see that, I can plan like a bit of a road trip and go down there, film all sorts and get that content out there for you guys, or even if it's tips and tricks. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, I will do a little giveaway. I'm not too sure what to give away. Comment that below and I'll do a giveaway when we hit 1,000 subscribers, so let's try and smash that as fast as we can. This is the number one hate of anyone going out deer stalking. The leaves are like Rice Krispies, so you just have to take it nice and slow. It's literally the worst conditions ever for stalking in the woodland. Wet, and it's like Rice Krispies. I don't know how well you can see that. I've just bumped two fallow deer there. There might be some more roaching over the bank. So another thing to note there, I couldn't have shot because there's no safe backstop. So you can see I was stood down there in line with that tree and I'm naturally shooting up. So there's no backstop, the bullet would have just gone straight up in the air. So there's no chance I could have shot them anyway. But another tip as well, so with these 5x, they come with this clip on the end, which is good if you know you're not going to be in a situation where you need them. However, I normally trap two fingers in between and pinch them with the back fingers like that. So then naturally when I see something, I can pull them down and open them up like that, rather than trying to crack that seal. So those two deer are directly down that track. Looks like there's a fawn. Can't see what the one is yet. Directly in front of us now is those two deer. So we've got a fawn, which is one of this year's. That's a female. And then we've got the mother, which is a doe. But we can't shoot down there. There's no safe backstop. And they can see me. So we're going to have to just try and progress on and try not bump them. So they're still milling around down this bottom bit of the wood. But fingers crossed I'm going to make it to the tower and get in there just in time. I've reached the tower. Now I'm just going to have one last look with the thermal before I commit to getting up there. Make sure those deer aren't coming this way. So now there's nothing coming. So what I'm going to do is put my sticks on the floor and then unload my rifle and climb up the tower. Most important thing is first, coffee. And then let's get this rifle off and get this into the tower. I was trying to get in the tower without making loads of noise. You just got to take your time. So what I normally do now is if I'm getting in a tower or a tote box, I'll lay the gun in one of the corners so it's out of the way, nice and safe. Get the most important on the seat and then get in and shut the door. Have it, we're in, so I'll just pull this too and just slide that across a bit. That'll do, just to stop it swinging in the wind. So now you can see the advantage of using a tower. It's a safe shootable position, high up, elevated, shooting down into that bank. So here we're allowed to shoot right in that wood. So we can shoot all the way around us 360 right into that field. Because it does go up as well, so it's fine. And then all behind us is all downhill. This is where the fun begins, trying to take stuff off quietly. Obviously it will sound a lot louder for you guys because my mic's right there. But typical as well, it always gets a cornyard. Next, the most important bit, some jockey bars. So we've got some Easter Bunny Kit Kats today to keep us going. That'll be some energy for the fingers crossed drag out. Fingers crossed. Whilst it's quite early, I'm just going to run through a few tips and tricks for when you're sat in high seats or towers, as it can be very boring, but people make a lot of common mistakes and then they'll never see a thing and then they'll begin to hate sitting in high seats or towers. But 99% of the time it's just down to user error. So people sitting here just constantly, nowadays with phones, they'll just sit on their phone like this and then every 15 minutes go. And that's like, it takes us 30 seconds for a deer to run past. So I'm not saying you've constantly got to be looking, but you've got to have a good idea, especially for the last 40 minutes of legal time. That's normally when they're going to be appearing. Another good tip as well, if you've got a rangefinder or rangefinding binos, and it's somewhere you've not been before, or even somewhere you've been, but you've been stalking elsewhere previously, just familiarise yourself with the lay of the land. So safety-wise, in your head, I can shoot there, I can shoot there, I can shoot there. And then also with the rangefinder, just go, oh, last time I sat in this high seat, for example, I couldn't see as far in the wood. So now I've rangefind, I can shoot 65 metres into that wood. Up there, I know it's 70 metres, 80 metres to that gate. So I've got a good understanding of my surroundings. Another good little tip for high seats or towers is your hearing is vital. So when you sat here, and if you hear a branch snap or anything like that, a lot of people naturally just go like that straight away and move their head dead quick. If you hear something like that, and you'll begin to, once you do it more and more, you'll begin to learn a deer branch snapping compared to like a rabbit or something. Once you know that, then naturally slowly move your head. Don't just go like, like this, because obviously you've got a white face, they'll just clock on straight away. And it's the same with hand movements. They're not really going to smell you as much up here because you're a lot higher. But if you're going like this, waving your firm around like mad, they're going to spot you. Or if you're going like this all the time, you're going to get clocked. So just being aware that your body parts are showing. So the rifle's still currently unloaded. The only thing I will mention is before I put one up the chamber and lay it across the wooden beams, so between here and here, just pointing into that bank with the safety catch on, is take your sling off. Your sling can easily catch and make a ding or bounce off your mod and make a noise. So what you want to do is take it off, so then you've got full range of motion and you ain't got to worry about another thing hitting the tower. So now I've got my rifle pointing down into that bank over there with the safety catch on. But if an opportunity does arise, I've got it set up so I can get my hand on the pistol grip there, use my forearm strength to lift the back end up, and then my left hand put here underneath, and naturally, because I'll have to like bring it into the tower and then back out if I'm shooting out the front, or if I'm shooting out the side, which I know from sitting in this IC loads of different times, naturally they come along here and then cross the ride there. So that's why I've got the barrel this way. So if you do your homework, you'll make your life easier. So then I can just literally, probably one-handed, pick up that, lift it up, rotate it round, and then just shoot straight down into that bank. I found a downside of being tall as well, and that is you smash your head off the tower. As you can hear now, there is the lovely sound of the British rain coming back in. Hence I'm sat underneath this tin roof, sitting nice and dry. All my kit staying nice and dry. So at the end of this, fingers crossed, I won't have to dry all my kit off, which is a pain, but sometimes you just have to do it. Tonight, the last legal shot is 7:40 because it says sunset is 6:40, so it's an hour after. But realistically, you ain't going to be able to see it like 7:20, although I might be able to just get away with it with twinkle mode on this day and night scope because it's quite open down this ride because of the telegraph poles. But we'll see. Whilst I'm just sat here chilling out, having a coffee, having a scan every few seconds, making sure there isn't one popping out of nowhere, because deer have a habit of doing that. Or you'll be looking at something through the thermal and it'll turn out to be a squirrel and you realise you just wasted 5 minutes of your life looking at a squirrel. But that's the joys of looking through thermals. I'll just mention, so I don't own the shooting rights on this woodland or the field surrounding. I've just got permission from my mate Russ because he owns them. So all these videos and me stalking would not be permissible, or it couldn't happen without Russ allowing me to be here. So big thanks to Russ. And he actually runs a venison catering company, so Shropshire Game. So you can order online, or if you're in the local area, so Telford or Shropshire, then you can collect. And he sells obviously venison butchered up, nicely vat-packed, steaks, haunches, tenderloins, steaks, absolutely everything. So I'll put a link in the description to Shropshire Game where you can go and check it out. So the deer from the last episode and any deer we get tonight on this episode will be going through, and they'll go into Russell's larder and then get butchered and processed into the food chain. So it's really nice, and obviously you can see it's going back into local communities. So go and check it out. Even if you're not local, you can order online and get it shipped straight to your front door. If you have made it this far in the video, comment down below what's your go-to Scooby snack to bring in the tower or taking out hunting. Mine's usually toffee fees and a coffee. But what's everyone's go-to Scooby snack and drink? Cup of tea, can of Coke, can of Monster, can of Red Bull, a coffee. Comment it down below. It's starting to get a little bit darker now, as you'll see on the GoPro footage. So fingers crossed, it's coming to that time when they're going to start moving about. So I'm going to put the camera down, change the battery, and then just sit still and get watching with the thermal. It's currently 7:10. We've got 30 minutes left of legal time. So now we're in the prime of 30 minutes where we've got to be scanning the GoPro isn't the best in low light conditions for filming. We're back down at the van now. Sadly, it was an unsuccessful hunt. Didn't see any other deer apart from them first two we bumped. It's just pot luck. They are wild animals at the end of the day. Some days they're there, some days they're not. They could be at a different block of woodland, typically fallow as well. They can travel up to, I think it's 7 to 10 kilometres per night. So they literally could be the other side of Telford, Shropshire area, and then 1 minute they could be back over here. This channel is going to be completely open and honest, so if I'm not going to get anything, I'm going to show you, and the video is still going to go out. I'm not just putting out kill shot videos. I'm just trying to put out informative, real world hunting. Overall though, it's still been an enjoyable evening, sitting in the tower, just having a chill out for a few hours, watching all the different bits of wildlife running around. And yeah, it's just nice being out of the house, nice being outdoors. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one.